Dings der Boomster.
Has something ever happened to you that you can't explain? Something that startled you deeply and left you questioning what is and what is not real? What if you started out on an adventure and it turned into some kind of unexplainable journey into a realm where time ticks differently? A time somewhere between the first day of September of 1939 and the second day of September of 1945. A very bad time, repeating. And this music, you hear it, right? It has been haunting me since 1977. And I am so sorry to be laying all of this on you right now. It's just that if it happened to me, it could happen to you. Me and my friends set out to explore Romantisches Franken. I'm here. I was with my friends Jenny, Pam, and Thomas. Pam, if you're out there somewhere, happy birthday, darling. We walked the cobblestone roads through several villages on our way to the mountains. The people who lived in the villages were mostly farmers. They tended the fields and vineyards just as they had since Roman times. The mountains were thick with old-growth forest. We sat down and had lunch under some trees. The fog cleared just enough to see the vineyard, which was about 100 meters from where we were. Thomas got wet. We found a pond on the way back, and Thomas wanted to go for a swim. Thomas wound up falling into the pond when he was pulling his shoes off. One of Thomas's shoes sank to the bottom. Thomas had to die for that shoe, but when he got it, he was proud as a peacock, and we pushed on. The fog was back. You could hear Thomas's wet sneakers slosh as we walked home. Jenny started singing, "Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get those shoes?" Thomas put his head down, and we trudged on. I guess Jenny was like that, always trying to cheer folks up. I remember once getting on the school bus. I hopped to get on the bus because I had a broken leg. Just as soon as I sat down, Jenny starts with all the hits from the Carpenters. Nearly an hour of Rainy Days and Mondays, Hurting Each Other, and Superstar. Jenny was lovely. It started raining. We were most of the way home when it started raining, so we took shelter in an abandoned castle. The castle is where things went bananas. I guess this is where the story begins. We entered the castle through the basement. The basement was dark, but I could see a few wine racks, mostly in pieces, and a few tables and cabinets. We went upstairs. When we reached the top of the stairs, we could see a kitchen and a hallway. The hallway led to a ballroom. The ballroom was completely empty and had a large hole in the center of the floor. It wasn't something that you could just throw a rug over. A Volkswagen could have fit through it. The ballroom had been visited from above by Allied aircraft a long time ago. I heard the music beginning to play. Thunder and lightning closed in on the castle, and the ballroom lit up with ghostly apparitions, people from WW2 dancing, seemingly unaware of the hole in the center of the ballroom. We were too scared to move. We had our backs against the wall, completely silent. Even Jenny was silent. To be fair, the Carpenters didn't have a tune that fit the occasion. Not even close. No. That job would have gone to Ozzy, and Janny's parents didn't let her sing Black Sabbath or Beach Boy songs. Both bands drove Jenny's parents mad. George and Carmaine walked over. George was wearing his military uniform. He was stationed at the nearby airfield. Carmaine was by his side. I could hear part of their conversation. Carmaine told George she wished that the war would end. George said that the war would be over soon, and not to worry. George then said, "Gott mit uns," and they walked away. Then things took a turn for the worse. This part is hard to describe because the rain just kept rolling in. The thunder and lightning seemed like it was on top of us. I felt the castle shake. Electrical current filled the air. It felt like electricity was flowing through my body and all around me. I could see sparks being emitted from my fingertips. My vision was fading in and out. I could hear George say "Gott mit uns" over and over as the lightning lit up the room. I could hear the boom, boom, boom of thunder. At some point, the thunder started sounding a lot like artillery. The nearby airfield was being attacked. 32 years after the war was over, I felt the hair on the back of my neck stand up. I looked in the direction of my friends when all hell broke loose. An aerial bomb busted through the roof and then through the ballroom floor. A B-24 Liberator found its mark. The sound was insane as the bomb cut through the castle. I could feel the compression pushing me tighter against the wall as the explosion was occurring. I couldn't see much. The room was filled with smoke and debris. The castle went silent for a couple of seconds. Then I heard voices. It was the injured. I could hear them crawling around, trying to reach help. They were moaning, screaming, and crying out for help. I tried to run, but it didn't work. We began crawling around on the floor, picking up body parts, and trying to put them back where they belonged. It was insane. It made no sense. Still, there we were, looking around, asking questions like, "Sir, is this your foot?" or "Kidney?" A man was tugging at my shirt, letting me know that he had someone else's leg, and asked if I could find his. It was a nightmare, hell on earth, as far as the eye could see. I remember seeing medics pulling bodies out of the ballroom when we all bolted. I don't remember doors or gates. I just remember running like hell to get away from the castle. We went straight home and never said a word about the castle. Looking back, we knew we did something wrong. We just didn't know how. I guess we were afraid we had fooled around and broke the space-time continuum. Better that our parents not find out. Makes you wonder what could trigger such an event. Was it the weather? Thomas's wet shoes sloshing about? Jenny and her can-do attitude? Pam? Me? A couple months later, I was over at Pam's house and noticed a small photograph displayed in the corner of their trunk. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. A faded photo from a time long ago. A man and a woman. Pam never had a chance to meet her grandparents until that night at the castle.
Ich will meine